Hello friends, how are you today? I'm Jim, and today we're going to make something fun out of this piece of wood. It took me a while to figure out what exactly to make out of this piece of wood. And it was a choice between a bob, a skull, or a cat. And what I came up with was a skull. Every time I try to make a skull out of wood, the part that really gums up the works is the teeth. Because it's really easy to make this look terrible. I think I need a smaller router bit to make it look nice and crisp. But I've made this skull nice and big, and I'll see if I have a bit that can get in there and make that look nice. So we're going to do that first. We're gonna cut this guy out. We're gonna make him look cool. So if that's a journey that sounds fun, something you'd like to come along with for the ride, please do. Come on, let's go. Let's make some sawdust.
Yeah, so before I got started on anything, I did a test with the thinnest router bit I had, and this is the thickness I'd get. And I think that would cause a lot of trouble going but in between those teeth. So a little bit of precision Dremel work might be needed for that part. But I can do the eyes and these bits with the router since I have the router here. That's not too bad. I'm trying to do this everything in order, so I don't need to change out the router bits too much after we cut this out on the bandsaw, or as April Wilkerson would call it, a bandsaw. I can use the same bit to round out to smooth out the edges. We're gonna go cut this out in the bandsaw now. As any serious woodworker will tell you, of course I consider myself a very serious woodworker, is that a dust collection system is paramount to have in your shop to keep it tidy, to keep the air fresh. And I wanted to show you mine. I got it at Dollar Tree for $1. I'm going to need to smooth out the edges here. My bandsaw blade is staggered, so it makes staggered cuts. Hopefully this will work for this. I'm just going to plop this in my vise here and go around it sideways. I don't see why it wouldn't work. It's not going to work for me. So, attempt 2. I'm going to use a clamp. Do it over the side here. That's nice. Okay, the next step is to, ooh, that's hot. Hot stuff. Got a rounding bit here. I'm going to round out the top and the bottom. it's not looking too bad. Need a little bit of fine tuning around the edges, but I have a sander and couldn't ask for more. Alrighty, I've got my skull here, and I'd like to do something cool with it. I'd like it to look I don't know, interesting. I'd like to interesting it up. In the past, one of the fun things about this skull design is that this skull is just the base part, and then do any patterns you like on it, but it's still a recognizable image. I like the color blue, so I'm thinking I'm going to make some abstract triangles, and then I'm going to do relief on the triangles with Dremel, and then, well, you'll see. So I'm going to draw some random lines here. It'll make sense in the end, I hope. The reason I'm doing it this step here is so it's basically to save out switching bits. I can do the next step pretty easily with a Dremel, with one bit on Dremel. Yeah, the part that's really going to suck is these teeth here. So I don't need to make it too difficult for myself. Let's bust out a Dremel and some high speed. That everything I did is going to get messed up by trying something new. These holes, oh, I'll get some lights someday. These holes aren't deep enough. I think if I make them a little bit deeper, I can use a rounding bit to get rid of all that jazz in there, and that's what I'd like to do. That's what I'm going to give that a go now. Well, that got them nice and deep, and I don't feel like they're not deep enough to get this bit into. Should I do that? I could, but should I? I did some sanding and stuff off camera because it was getting boring. Now I'm going to add little notches in here where I did the lines. I think that'll give it a cool look. Hope it'll give it a cool look. Alright, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to route different shapes at different depths to give it like a 3D look. Let's hope it works and doesn't destroy everything. That would suck. I've moved over to the trusty workbench because this is an easy place for me to work, and I can listen to podcasts over here. So I'm going to do the actual painting in fast motion. I hope you can forgive me for that, because it's going to take a while, and these videos, editing and all that, I'd like to get it done today. So here I'm going to use my painting skills to hopefully Well, I don't have any gesso, so I'm using this as a primer. Make this a very cool looking skull. I think it looks pretty cool so far. I have high hopes. I didn't really screw up anything too badly cutting the wood. A few little happy accidents, but that's cool, man. Alright, we're gonna switch over to fast motion now and I'll put on a nice tune for you. And we'll talk when this is done. Cover this with a coat of clear glaze, and then we'll take a peek at it. Well, here we are again at the end of our adventure, our skull wood adventure today, and I think I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. The glaze is still drying. But did you look at that? I like all the depth I got on the sides. I think it looks pretty neat. Thank you for coming along on this adventure with me, Patreon pals. Again, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to wake up and say, what should I do with this piece of wood today? It's all because of you guys. So thank you very much. Here are all your names. What the ditty I like. And also it dawned on me that, I could really make these videos better with transitions and music. Production value. Make better videos, more people will want to see them. So I hope this is a little bit better, and thanks a lot for watching this and for your Patreon support. And I'll talk to you guys later. This is a long project, man.